tonight's feature film, Money for Nothing. How are we doing? Now, it was last November I was talking to my good friend Chris Purser. He had said that he had read a movie script that his 10-year-old niece Brittany Purser had written. Yeah, it had a great story, it had a good flow, it had a great message, and he decided he was going to make a movie out of it. One thing I can tell you about Chris Purser, with all the years I've known him, when he does something as perfect as possible and out of this world as possible. But tonight's an example, out of the world, huh? Amazing, huh? The primary goal Chris had with Money for Nothing was to give all the cast and crew an authentic movie-making experience. And since Chris has experience in the movie-making industry, having worked on The Transporter 2, The Punisher, a movie called Bad Boys 2, he knows what he's doing. And so the cast and crew enjoyed authentic casting calls, wardrobe fittings, high-tech equipment and lighting, post-production audio dialogue replacement, whatever that means. All kinds of neat stuff. And he knows how to do this stuff. This is the kind of stuff you'd see if you're in a production with Will Smith or Harrison Ford or someone. It's a really cool experience. I think I can speak for the cast and the crew. It was an enjoyable experience. It was certainly educational. And it was an honor to work on this film with Chris. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me warmly welcome tonight's host and executive producer of Money for Nothing, Chris Purser.
Thank you everyone. Thanks to Nick Smith, my good friend, for that generous introduction. Good evening. You guys having fun? Yeah! Yeah! Thank you all for coming. It's been fun for me too. I'd like to start this evening by briefly mentioning a number of sponsorships that we received that helped to make this film this night possible. Speaking for all of us, I'm sure when I say thank you to all the staff and administration here at Parkway Christian Church and School. They gave their endorsement, they gave their support, their facility, as you can see, and a lot more, and they never asked for anything in return. So, I'd like to say a warm thank you to Stephanie Miller, who has been our photographer since the very beginning. She is solely responsible for the publicity stills used to create the movie poster and other various items, and is here tonight, dodging my... Do not leave before you get her contact information. She's the best kids and portrait photographer I know. Thanks, Stephanie. Aid Family Limousine Service provided the car for the cast to arrive in. We'll be on the pictures of that. I'd like to say a special thanks to all the parents of all the cast and all the extras. You guys gave a lot, constantly. I know I was demanding at times. I never heard about it, so I guess it went over okay. There's really, the list goes on and on and on, and I don't think that I could possibly list everyone that deserves thanks for their work on this project. Otherwise, you'd probably all fall asleep. And we never get to see the movie. You guys want to see the movie, right? All right, well, before we get started, I'd like to take just a minute to tell you a story about something that happened to me just this week. Something that brings to light the kinds of people that are sitting here around you. This last Monday, I got a call, my phone, it was my dad, and I could tell he was in excruciating pain. And my dad, all 72 years old, still works pretty hard not to be a burden on others. He was driving himself to the emergency room at Memorial Hospital East. Needless to say, I was concerned, and on the way over there, I called my family to tell them what was happening. Now, many of you know my dad, and probably more of you know my mom, who doesn't drive herself much these days. And so my sister-in-law, Lisa, who many of you also know, came here to pick her up from school and drive her across town so that she could be there with her husband. And by the time that I arrived, the doctors had already determined that it was much more minor than any of us had feared. Thank God for that, we thought. And now I don't consider myself much of a church-going person, but I am a man of faith. And although I'm usually not surprised by the gigantic things that Christians do around the world, the little things are what seem to hit me the hardest. Now, Memorial Hospital East is some distance from here. It's 20.3 miles to be exact. I'm quite certain because Google told me so. And it takes about 30 minutes to drive it. But somehow, within about 20 minutes of my mother and I arriving there, I was surprised by one of these little things. A man showed up. Not at all something I expected. A man sent to us to see to my father and my mother and me. And I'd like you to welcome this man to share some of why it shouldn't surprise us, why this kind of caring and loving and giving should not be such a rare occasion. Please welcome to tonight's events and to the stage, your very own Pastor David Walton.
Wow, what an amazing event this is, isn't it? Isn't it amazing that we have such wonderful parents and we have such wonderful teachers? And you know what? We got 3 great kids, right? Let's thank all of our kids for being so great. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I have been honored to be called by God to be the senior minister here at Parkway Christian Church. And part of my duties here at Parkway Christian, I get to work around your beautiful children. I get to work. I get to go into this multi-purpose room during lunchtime, and I have lunch buddies now who are high-fiving me, and I like to go to the preschool, which, by the way, is going to be celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. We're very excited about that. But I get to take, God has given me the honor to be able to go through both of these buildings and then this building, to find new and creative ways to bring our respective ministries even into a tighter focus than they currently are. Here at Parkway, we like to say it's a brand new day here at Parkway. And what does that mean? Well, that means that we're working very hard to find ways to help bring our collective ministries together, even tighter than they already are. This event is one of those things. I think as you watch the film, I'm going to be making my film debut in this little film. I get to play one of the extras. I was very honored to do that. But this event that we've got going on tonight, tomorrow morning during our worship service, our church has sponsored every 4th grader, and our church family just purchased Bibles to give to each of our 4th graders. And we're going to be doing that tomorrow during worship. We're very excited about that. In September, I'm going to be installed officially as the senior minister here at this church, and as the headmaster of the school, and the administration is going to be playing a part of that, and I hope you will too. I hope your children will be here on that day to help officially welcome me into this. But you know what, friends? What this is a wonderful opportunity for all of us. God has given us this moment in time. And this movie represents something bigger than ourselves. I hope that God will use this time, will use this event to grow His kingdom, beginning with this church and this school in a mighty and powerful way. I thank you very much for entrusting your kids with us, and I thank you very much for allowing me to be the senior minister and headmaster here at the school. Chris, thank you so much. Your dad, your family, oh my goodness. I'm so very happy, so very happy. And Marvin is here with us tonight. Marvin, I'm so glad you're here with us tonight. Thank you. And I'm going to stop talking now because you did not come to see me. So let's get ready for the movie. Chris, thank you.
Thank you. Don't be afraid to give your best to what seemingly are small jobs. Every time you conquer one, it makes you that much stronger. If you do the little jobs well, the big ones will take care of themselves. When Dale Carnegie said this, and Dale Carnegie was a pretty famous guy ways back, when he said this, I'm pretty sure that he was talking to me, and you, each of you. And I also think he may have been talking about this film, and this night, and these kids. As it turns out, this project started out as one of those little jobs, and the job was for Brittany to write and learn about how to write a script. She followed Mr. Carnegie's reasoning and did that first job really well, and then I and some other people helped her do some other jobs well, and so on. Now, I know many of you may think that I took this film and ran with it, and you might be right some of the time, but I continued to give small jobs to Brittany and Vincent. Emily and Haley, David and Jessica, as well as Bridget and Cookie and Lisa and Rich and Connie and Anthony. And all the kids that showed up as extras, kids, thank you. And some of these gave jobs to each other, and some gave jobs to other people. And by doing so, each of these people doing these small jobs became stronger for it, by learning, by teaching, and by growing. And by doing all this together, the big job took care of itself. You should all be proud of all that you've learned, and all that you've taught, and all that you've grown. Henry David Thoreau said, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you imagine." I prefer the simpler version, which kind of means the same thing, I think. Do or do not. There is no try. I've been told that Yoda, when he said this, was talking about how to be a hero. But even then, I'm pretty sure that he was talking about us. Brittany went confidently in the direction of her dreams, and if you want to find out the result, you don't have to wait to watch the movie. Look around you. This is her result. Not only is she living the life she imagined for herself, but she's sharing the life that she imagined for her friends and her family and all of you. So now we've come to watch and reap the rewards of our hard work, and although no one here believes they made this film by themselves, I'd like to say personally that if it weren't for each and every one of you, we definitely would not have pulled it off. As a prologue to tonight's feature film, I'm sorry I'm going to make you wait a couple more minutes. This is the story of how it all happened.
The story begins with an ambitious 10-year-old girl who has an interest in movies, and the tale ends happily ever after with a fully produced movie. Coming up, a young girl tells us how she wrote her own screenplay that'll soon premiere as a short indie film. It's a great story. Stay with us. Well, writing a screenplay is quite an accomplishment for a person of any age. And my next guest, my new best friend, Brittany, she did it while in elementary school. Not only that, but 10-year-old Brittany's script isn't just sitting on the shelf. It's actually created into a movie. Here's the movie poster. Here to tell us all about the film Money for Nothing is Brittany Purser and her uncle, Chris Purser. He helped make the magic happen. Brittany, Chris, I'm so glad that you guys are here.
Thanks.
Now, Brittany, I understand firsthand how tough it is to make a movie happen. My brother's an aspiring film director, so I know that from the process of writing it, you have the idea in your head, you write it, and then you have to find somebody to shoot it. You have to find actors, you have to find a place, you have to find cameras and editing and lights. You made it happen, and I know that your Uncle Chris helped out.
Yeah.
Have you always been a writer? Have you always been into writing?
Yes, I've been writing for a while, but this one time I thought it was really good and I wanted to come to my uncle.
and your uncle, where did your uncle step in? You have some experience in the business, right, Chris?
I do. I spent a long time in the business way back, and I've been out for a little while, but it's still a passion of mine, so I enjoy.
Uh-oh, it's in the blood.
Yeah.
So you went to your uncle, you said, hey, Uncle Chris, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Where do I go from there? So did you, I mean, tell us about the idea. It looks like, and by the way, it looks like you started too. I see your picture there.
Yeah.
And what's the idea of the movie?
It's about like a kid who thinks that he can buy his friends, but he can't. Like.
There you go. Now, are you writing from a real life experience that you had while you were in school?
Yes.
Kind of, right? Okay.
Some of your friends had experiences that were similar?
All right. Well, you obviously wrote the screenplay. It looks like you were a star in the film as well. Are you on your way to Hollywood, girlfriend?
Maybe.
Maybe. Do you want to write? Do you want to direct? Do you want to produce? Do you want to be an actress? There you go, strutting your stuff down the hallway there.
I want to act.
You want to be an actress? All right. Well, you're starting young. That's good. You got your foot in the door.
Yeah.
Now, where did you obviously when you want to make a movie happen, you have to find a location, Chris. Where did you shoot this film?
We shot quite a bit of it at her school. They were a big contributor to the process. And then we shot at several of the cast members' homes and a local park. We shot for 7 days. It took us to shoot the approximately 22 or 3-minute film.
Okay, well that's amazing. And you say 22, 23 minutes, but so much time goes into making a 20-minute film. I mean, you just said 7 days. So what's the name of the school? What school are you going to now?
I go to Parkway Christian.
Okay. Thanks to them for helping you out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there comes
They
Chrissy.
were
Yeah.
Very, very helpful. Yes, very helpful.
Chris, like I said earlier, it's tough to find the resources. Obviously, you have the connections. Did you tap other resources here to make this happen independently?
I did. I called in a lot of old favors from my days in the business. A lot of my friends are still in the business, professionals that do it for a living. So I did. I called in a lot of them, and I was very pleased that a lot of these people really want to work on these kind of high passion stories. So much of the business becomes a job, and so there were a lot of people, even people I didn't know, kind of came out of the woodwork to help.
Rewarding. What is it like for you to sit here, see this poster? It says right there, a Brittany Purser movie. How does that feel?
Good.
Yeah? What's next for you, girlfriend?
Make another one.
You gotta make another movie. All right, you let me know. I'll be there front row. All right, Brittany, thank you so much. Congratulations to you. Keep making movies.
Thank you very
Chris,
much.
thank you, and thanks for making
pleasure.
our dream come true. The premiere party for Money for Nothing. That's right, we have a premiere party. It's scheduled for August 29th, and look for more details. Log on to rollhd.tv/featured.
Now, have you ever thought what would happen if you had a lot of money and due to the recession you lost it all? Well, would your friends and family stick around? A child wise beyond her years asked herself that question and decided to make a movie about it.
Very, very cool. Her name's Brittany Purser. She's a 10-year-old fourth grader in Davie. Now, Karen Posada sat down with Brittany and tells us a story that maybe could teach all of us grown-ups a very valuable lesson on how to deal with hardships. Check it out.
It's because a lot of people have been losing money, and I think that by losing money, I think people are learning something. Once you have money, you're not sure if you're gonna have it forever.
Powerful words from a 10-year-old.
This is a kid who's really rich, and
Brittany Purser is only in the 5th grade, but she and other kids her age have already witnessed how tough economic times can be a huge strain on grown-ups. Several of Brittany's classmates have seen their parents lose their jobs and lose their homes.
they had to move, and just because of they couldn't afford their home or they couldn't afford anything anymore.
I've always been the kind of girl. That inspired Brittany to write a short movie about her real-life experiences, a film she calls Money for Nothing. It's about the journey of a child who comes from a wealthy family and later loses that money in the recession. The child then realizes that friendships are more valuable than money.
It's about this kid who thinks he can buy his friends, but he can't. I think that you should get a friendship by, trying to act like a friend, not buying someone. Hey, Rich, there's a rumor that you're broke.
It's no rumor.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yeah, no more allowance either. I have 1 cent, a stinking nickel.
Challenging as times have been, Brittany believes that there's something positive happening in her generation. She has seen a change of attitude in her peers where material things don't matter as much anymore. And she also believes that what matters most does not come with a price tag. In Sunrise, Karen at southflorida.com.
How did you like the movie? Okay, there's some unknown event that's about to take place. I have no idea what it is, and I refuse to take blame for it.
To Chris. No, to Chris. It has been a great experience working with Chris. It is certainly an opportunity no one would want to miss. He never yells or gets mad even if someone's are being bad. And how about Brittany, lucky you. Your uncle has made your dreams come true. He took so much of his time to make this movie, and all without compensation. That makes him pretty groovy. He listens to kids' suggestions. Some people don't know why, but that's one reason we think he's an awesomely great guy. He went above and beyond by making this a learning process, all while letting us feel like we were at recess. After 8 hours of filming, he would say, "My bad, one more take," even though we all know it wasn't his mistake. He is casually laid back, but doesn't wear Crocs, and that's just one more reason Chris totally rocks. Can I have my Uncle Chris come up? I would like to present him with this plaque.
Welcome to tonight's premiere screening of Money for Nothing. director of Money for Nothing, Brittany Purser.
Hello, good evening. Did you like the movie? I hope so. This has been a long-awaited night for so many people. My friends, my family, and all of you that worked on this with me. And this project has grown from one small idea into friendship, charity, and hope. And throughout the project, I've learned that if you put your heart into something, your dreams can come true. And I want to say right here, right now, I understand that I am lucky, that I am fortunate, that I am blessed. And for all those kids out there who aren't as fortunate as I am, as blessed as I am, I promise whatever I can do, I promise to make sure that I am never less deserving than they are. My dad works really hard at his job. My mom works really hard at her job.